The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. It's like smooth and then rough, and then smooth and then rough. Fuck this movie.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Movie podcast. I don't have a funny opening line this time. We watched Jurassic Park 3. How about that?
How many are left now?
Jurassic Parks?
Yeah.
I think it's just Fallen Kingdom at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Dominion whenever that comes out.
Wait, there's another one?
There's one in production.
Is it Chris Pratt?
Yeah. It's everybody. It's the original cast and this cast, the new cast.
Wow. If it happens.
Everybody. Ellie Statler, Vicky Waldorf.
What about that girl that did the gymnastics thing with the...
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say yes. What was her name? Kelly? Kelly in that? I can't even remember. Doing gymnastics, fighting raptors. She gets eaten. So what,
I'm Brian.
What's her... Yeah. Say your names, everybody.
Will.
Tony.
And Joe.
Alright, guys. So, Jurassic Park 3, what's everybody's history with this film? We'll start with Joe.
I saw this once when I was at UConn. I forget the year. And I remember just being like, wow, that was totally unremarkable. And then I had no desire to ever see it again.
Okay. William?
Yeah, so I saw this once at a sleepover. I had a friend in elementary and middle school who was kind of a dinosaur freak, really into anything dinosaurs. Shout out to Adam, wherever you are. And yeah, we watched this at his sleepover, and I remember being like, wow, this isn't as good as the original. And I think that's the only time I've seen it until yesterday.
How about you, Brian?
This is my first time seeing it.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. That's interesting. We've been friends for how long?
A long time.
That's your first time.
And you remain that way because you didn't make him watch this until now.
Maybe that's it. I didn't make him watch this even now. We all voted. This was a vote. Brian didn't vote
It's
for
on
this.
all of our hands.
Joe, you need to stop showing off that tank, okay? Because
You stop talking about things that are no one can see.
Yeah.
all right, I'll stop
Agreed.
talking about your dick. Tony, what's your history with this?
Of course, we saw this in the theaters. I own it on Blu-ray because it's
God.
because it's that disc from the 3-pack of Jurassic Park that's collecting dust.
Okay.
Because, I don't really revisit this one.
Okay.
I don't go
Why'd
to
you buy
Isla
the
Sorna very
3-pack?
often.
Because it's cheaper than buying them separately.
Yeah.
No, but like,
I mean,
is
oftentimes
Jurassic Park, is it cheaper than just buying Jurassic Park on its own?
Oftentimes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was on sale for, the Blu-ray, so I said, why not?
Because it sucks.
What was everyone when y'all did the Lost World? What was everyone's opinion on that?
It's
That
not
one
good.
sucked too.
Yep. Basically.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
first time seeing that one too, I think.
But if I remember, The Lost World at least took risks and tried some things. It failed, but like it tried.
I mean, I guess. It's,
It had some good stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, I've also seen this film. All right, so we're not doing a cast list, right? I mean, that's too much effort.
No, do it. Fucking do it.
All right, who's doing it?
Read it
Somebody
off, Tony.
volunteer.
That's got to be Tony.
Oh, fuck. All right.
I mean, read it off, Will.
Just do it off your top of your head.
Yeah, not like we're doing any of this in any order, so I'm totally prepared. So, Sam Neill as Alan Grant. You got William H. Macy as Paul Kirby. Taya Leone as a block of wood. Some other people that don't really matter. Who gives a shit?
Laura Dern getting that paycheck.
Yeah, she's in it for a minute.
The unsung hero of the whole movie.
Oh, we'll get into that.
And a
Don't
motherfucking Spinosaurus.
Yeah. All right. Let's just get into this dumb thing. So Jurassic Park 3.
Well,
Are
do
we,
we want to
are we talking?
Do we want to go over budget and how much it made?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
All right,
Apparently
guys.
not.
We didn't
I
get
am
to do that
not
last
alright.
week. We got to do it this
I
week,
am-
or people are going to start unsubscribing.
I'm not at all right.
Yeah, because that'll make them unsubscribe.
Yeah.
No, actually, Joe or Will, it'd be perfectly fitting because last week we did go over that, but we didn't go over the cast list. So this week
Okay.
we'll just do the other.
It was a
Sounds
bunch of dumb people. No, we talked the cast list because it was we said what's his name in Sergeant Slaughter, right?
All right.
Yes.
I can't even remember who the other guy
Burgess
was.
Meredith, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Burgess Meredith, but who was playing Don
Johnson.
Johnson. And
All right.
Slaughter.
Don't you ever forget.
All right, so how much does this movie cost to make? I know it's
Too
way
much.
too much.
All right. Well, let me start with is directed by Joe Dante, who we've covered a lot on this podcast.
Joe
I thought
Johnson, not Joe Dante.
Sorry, Joe Johnson. Sorry, yes. Who did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, The Rocketeer, Jumanji, as well as Page Master and Captain America, like the only ones we haven't done yet. It came out in 2001.
Look, we're not going to do Page Master, guys. We can all just agree on that, right?
I don't even know what that is.
It's the Macaulay Culkin like fake never-ending
Yeah, well, I'm good.
story, but like
I'm done here. We're good.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So some of the
Well,
problems with this movie, as you might have pointed out, with why the second one might have been a little better. The second one was basically made with scraps from what they took out of the first movie.
In
Stuff that was in the book.
with scraps.
Yeah. And this movie was made with the scraps of the scraps. And apparently they weren't even done writing it by the time they started filming.
That makes sense. That makes a
So-
lot of sense.
And it shows.
Yeah. I guess they had a bunch of other storylines that they kept going through. With it started with teenagers being trapped on the island, and then that was scrapped, and then it was going to be Dr. Grant
No,
living on the
wasn't.
island.
It
Well-
he's still
Yeah, but then it was going to be Dr. Grant living on the island, and there was some weird murder mystery with the pterodactyls killing people. I don't know.
Okay.
It sounded really bizarre, but they scrapped all that. Let's see. Sam Neill apparently only agreed to do this because they did it like a mile away from his house or something. Michael Crichton did try to help them write this story, but after a while he was like, yeah, this just isn't working out, and left the project. So that should have been a good sign.
wasn't it Spielberg that like wanted the Spinosaurus or something?
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't think it was Spielberg, but yeah, somebody else wanted a different dinosaur, and they wanted it to be, distinctly different from the T-Rex. So we got the Spinosaurus.
Which
How
is
much does
just the same
Spielberg
as
have
the T-Rex.
his mitts in this?
He was the executive producer, wasn't he?
Yes, he directed the first two, but by this one he was like, you know what, I'm done with it. You can have it, Joe.
But I'm still gonna tell you what to do.
And make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, do you want to guess at how much it cost to make?
$132 million.
I'm gonna say I'm just going an even 100 Millos.
I was gonna go with 100. I'll do
Marshmallows.
110.
I'll say 200.
Wow, it was 93.
Oh, we all
okay.
overshot.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, it was still too much money.
Yeah.
True. So, want to guess at how much it made?
$93 million.
I'm gonna say 200 marshmallows.
150.
180.
It was 369.
Wow.
Well, worldwide, it was about 180 domestically, I believe.
Those dang Chinese.
So let's talk about what this, $90 million bought us.
Bullshit.
All right.
Some bad CGI.
Yes, terrible
That's some
CGI.
Bullshit.
So we get
How is the CGI worse than the original? How does that make sense?
because they. It's hard to even explain, really, because as the polygons got better. Everything else got worse. And I don't understand how that worked out.
Because there are some scenes where like the raptors are real, right? Like puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And to me, it was pretty clear that looked decent.
Well, that's the
right?
thing. I think the bigger problem is it's not so much that the CGI is actually worse. It's that they're relying on it so much more.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's entirely true.
Well, they're not using it properly. Like,
yeah, that's the big thing.
Well, I think I'm trying to agree with what Tony's saying though, where they're using more CGI shots and they're not like they're lingering on them too long. They're doing instead of like enhancing puppets or doing quicker shots where you don't get the amount of time to really see all the defects
The
in
threads,
yeah
you just get a big
they're making the raptors jump around like ninjas, breaking necks and stuff, and it's
lots of neck breaks in this movie.
This friggin' neck breaking. I can't even.
Like Steven Seagal was on Isla Sorna.
He was the stunt coordinator.
Yeah.
Telling the raptors what to do.
Is he part raptor?
Let's start with this master plot.
He'll tell you he is.
Probably.
We'll get Vladimir Putin to confirm it too.
And he is living on Isla Sorna right now, right?
Steven Seagal?
In his own mind. In his own mind, he is.
No, that's where he escaped to.
He is one of the apex predators on the island at this point, yes.
Is he still a Louisiana cop?
No.
I think he's a Louisiana fried chicken at this point.
Didn't he defect to Russia? I thought he's living there.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
and I also
Putin
forgot to
snatched
mention
that shit up quick.
Sorry, guys. I also forgot to mention that when they were having writing problems, they brought in David Koepp.
Okay.
Who, just so you know, his best known credits are Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Mission Impossible, Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, Spider-Man, War of the Worlds, Angels and Demons, Stir of Echoes, Secret Window.
So a bunch of blockbusters that made money but weren't necessarily good.
Mordecai. Well, the point is, like, it's kind of all over the place, but like there's a few decent ones in there, but most of it's shit.
So, in the right hands, he could be capable. This just wasn't that.
I think if I were to guess, he's the kind of guy you want for the first draft, not the final draft.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be seasoned properly to be successful.
Yeah.
Now, has anyone talked to Steven Seagal lately? Not to get back on that, but.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that solves one of the questions I have very early on in this film. So we begin with it, right, where my first note is I'm not looking forward. I wrote that right as the logo popped up. So we're at Isla Sorna, right? And there's these guys on a boat.
Was that the logo with the big slash through it? Like it was the beginning of Beast Wars?
Yeah, like setting up a horror movie.
Yeah. So this movie's very good at lying to you. Or getting your expectations up and then making it like something way shittier. So you see some guys on a boat, and I'm like, these guys might be up to something. Maybe they're doing something shady. Maybe they're smuggling things on the Isla Sorna. I don't know. No, they're fucking parasailing a kid.
They're smuggling a father and son.
Yeah, it's like, all right, fine. We're just going parasailing. Whatever. And then the boat just goes into a fog, and suddenly everyone's just dead on the boat, and there's blood everywhere.
You get Stephen King right off the bat, and you're like...
I was going to say, like, that was Steven Seagal. Just got on the boat.
Chopped them all up.
Everyone up. Yeah.
On my way to Russia.
Got out of there.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Sure, it's cold, but I can have all the potatoes I want.
What the hell dinosaur did it? Like,
I don't know. This would have been an interesting time to have, like, the Mosasaurus from, like, the one they have in Jurassic World would have made sense here.
Yeah.
A plesiosaur, some kind of aquatic monster.
It was the pterodactyls because they were in the fog.
Yeah, but
the pterodactyls were inside the cage.
Whatever.
Pterodactyls, they're not small. They're not small animals.
yeah.
They wouldn't just like.
Could have been the cartel.
And
No.
flying creatures are not known for their ability to attack in a fog.
Whatever.
Yes.
Dinosaurs aren't known for their ability to be alive right now, so whatever.
All right. Either way, it makes no sense. And then
So-
everyone starts doing shit that doesn't make sense either.
So my problem with this whole intro
Mhm.
is that the minute they see the boat has no crew
Yeah.
and that it's about to crash, they disconnect themselves to fly away, and I'm
what
like,
the hell is that?
all your radio shit's on the boat. So why would you want to like? I understand you don't want to drown with the shoot in the water or whatever, but you can like stay near the line. Like unhook yourself from the chute, fall into the water near the line, and then pull yourself to the boat.
I'd
It's
like
like
to submit.
The boat's gonna crash. That doesn't mean it's gonna crash you into the rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they'll hit the water, then they can pull themselves to the boat where the radio
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. The thing I
We're
was
gonna hit
most,
the rocks and then
the
have a
thing-
very gentle descent. Sorry, we'll go ahead.
The thing I was most uncomfortable with is how that little boy was gyrating all over his stepdad.
Wow.
Well, that's
Oh. Okay.
All right.
that's really
But-
something that you have to come to terms with, I guess.
That's
So-
that's not a stepdad. It's his mom's friend.
he wants to be the stepdad.
Mom's
Yeah.
special friend.
He's hoping to
So-
be the stepdad.
What's the
Yeah,
complaint we
there-
have? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
They were told to call him quote unquote uncle.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
All right.
special friend.
What's the complaint, Joe? You were saying.
So the complaint everyone always has about Jurassic Park movies is why is there the kid there? And like, all right, just immediately the kid's there, and we got to go rescue the kid. Fuck, like
I mean, the
come
kid is
on.
there so kids have somebody to relate to when they're seeing the movie, so it's not just scary monsters.
yeah, but they like.
Uh,
It worked. It
problem
worked
with
in
that-
Jurassic World, but it never worked in any of the other movies. I
True.
don't know.
Well, it's also a Steven Spielberg
Yeah.
mandate.
Yep.
There's gotta
must,
be
must have
kids.
some children, even if
But
it's
wait.
about freaking Abraham Lincoln.
Wait a minute. I want to know, who do they think is the kid that's going to go to this movie because he wants to picture himself as the little boy wetting his pants inside the car?
Well,
I
you
might
know,
like-
Tony.
Kids like my friend I was talking about, weird dinosaur kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
they don't picture themselves as those kids. They either want to be Alan Grant or they want to be the dinosaur.
Yeah, but
they're not trying to.
But movie executives don't know that.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So, all right, you see all that, and you're already racked with disappointment. And then we just cut to Alan Grant and Ellie Settler, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. Alan and Ellie's back, and they're just at Ellie's house, and Ellie's
Yep.
married to a different guy.
Why did they break them up? What?
Whatever. It doesn't. Whatever.
It matters to me.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's whatever.
No, because it's the same thing with in Aliens 3 where they just kill off Hicks and everybody. Like
Yeah.
it just makes all the previous movie kind of a little shittier.
Yeah, because the whole arc, Alan Grant had a whole arc in the first movie where he warmed up to the kids and the idea of all family life, and then it's like, okay, I guess don't worry about any of that. They
It's one
broke up
thing-
for reasons that they're not going to mention.
Like, if you couldn't
Who's
get Laura
Jane?
Dern, and you're like, oh, okay, so they broke up. But Laura Dern's there,
Right.
have them, have some kind of relationship.
She's
And
there.
normally-
The interaction with the husband could be out of the movie and it would not change anything.
anything.
The husband seemed like a cool guy though.
Yeah, but because he's probably a cuck. But
Wow.
Oh boy.
What I'm saying, it's
yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah, bring Dr. Grant over. Have him
It's-
over for
yeah.
dinner. I like that.
Bring the dinosaur man. Tell him to bring his brontosaurus.
His raptor
No,
claw.
So,
Can I
Then
wait?
we
Can I
cut
ask?
the only
what?
point of this scene is to show that Grant still knows her number. That's it. That's the only
Right,
Yeah.
which would have been fine if they were married. Also would have made sense.
point.
The only point of this scene is to have a Barney joke later in the movie.
and that's just sad.
Yeah, we did that with Godzilla, and it wasn't funny then either.
Yeah.
So,
It is weird, 2 weeks in a row with a Barney joke. But
Yeah.
anyway, so now we cut to Alan Grant is giving a lecture about how raptors could talk to each other, and they were really smart. They were smarter than primates, and they would have been the dominant species had if it wasn't for that meteor.
I agree that they were smarter than primates at the time.
Yes. Yes.
They were smarter than the primates around them.
Sure.
And that's where it about ends. But
What
All right.
like part of me thinks wouldn't Dr. Grant and some of these people have really bad PTSD about all of the shit that happened to him in the first movie?
well,
You would
that's
think
kind of
so.
that's what Jurassic Park 2 was trying to do, but failed at.
Well, they
The Lost
explored a
World.
little bit when Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler are talking to each other. They do talk about how, like they both have fears of the raptors and whatnot.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll also get to his nightmare in a moment.
Yeah. All right.
This
But-
friggin' thing, though.
So now you see the
Well, yeah. So,
there's one part we got to touch on before the nightmare though. So you see
I still want to go into Grant talking here, and it's
Yep.
basically like I imagine it's what he's actually like if he went to Comic-Con. It's
Uh-huh.
just like I don't want to talk about Jurassic Park, and there's no amount of money to make me do another one.
Yep.
I'm here to talk about Merlin, the TV movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen Merlin? No.
See, I always just picture him
Uh.
from Event Horizon tearing his eyes out and covered in cuts. So anyway, that you see the Kirby's show up at his lecture, and a student asks him, if he'd ever go back to Jurassic Park, and he's like, "No force on heaven or earth would ever get me to go back there." Then we cut to this fucking massive, like giant-looking 20mm autocannon thing, and
Oh yeah.
all I just want to see one dinosaur get shot by that.
Just
That's
one.
it. Just one.
Yeah.
Just
The man
one.
firing it can die afterwards. I just want to see one dinosaur get shot by that, and this movie would get like a C from me. Because I'm a simple man to please. You can't fucking put that out there
Joe.
and then take it away from me.
Joe.
What?
Joe.
What?
It never even gets fired again.
Nope.
It never
No,
even
not at all.
shows up. Well,
Those
it does
guys
show up,
suck.
right? Once,
The guy deploys it.
but right before he gets eaten.
Yeah.
It-
No, you
it's
can't.
Crying.
It's an off-screen death for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can't get me worked up like that. I'm so freaking hard when I see that gun.
Chekhov's
Then,
boner
like-
over here.
The
Yeah.
gun's death is off-screen. The guy who
Yeah.
had the gun's death is a scene later.
But the gun's already gone.
It's
Like,
already
yeah.
gone.
Already
Yep.
gone.
So, and also,
Just-
yeah,
it
well,
could've
I guess
been a
we'll
shitty
talk about it
dinosaur.
when we get there.
It could have been a shitty dinosaur. It didn't need to be like the bad guy dinosaur.
It would have
I
been
just wanted
funny
to
if
see a dinosaur get shot by it.
it'd be
but
funny
no.
if they were there and before the Spinosaurus showed up, there was some really sweet dinosaur that
Yeah.
Dr. Grant was like, "Oh look, it's definitely won't eat us a saur." And the guys are like, "Fucking kill it!"
It's coming right
Yeah.
for us.
Come on, right
Another,
for us.
another sick Triceratops is just laying there.
He becomes a pile of shit.
What do you call a vegetarian dinosaur? A Vegisaurus. I call it hamburger.
Yeah. So, okay, that's all I had to say. Is like I saw that gun. I'm like, okay, someone's smart. They're bringing the proper equipment. We're gonna
You
see
think.
like a battle with some Nope,
That-
wrong.
That
wrong.
gun and only that gun, apparently.
Mhm.
So, Alan Grant's lecture is boring as fuck.
Mhm.
You see him meet with his research assistant, I guess his name is, whatever
His
the
manservant.
his manservant.
Billy.
But
Yeah,
like,
Billy.
they-
Kinda-
Squire.
I'm kind of
It's like
he's
his-
still in grad school, like a grad assistant
Yeah.
or something like that.
yeah,
It's a squire.
you find out that like they need fucking money, and because research is expensive, and people they don't want to pay him. Whatever. Anyway,
He's like, I blew some of the grant money on a 3D printer. I hope you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, and none of Hammond's checks went through. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, the
They
government
help
shut his accounts down.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ian wants the fucking what's their names?
The Kirby's,
The Kirby's.
and it'll be easy to remember that they're the Kirby's because they suck so hard.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
up to date.
Kirby sucked and got cooler. They sucked and just got worse.
But they are
Yeah,
basically just
fair,
piles
that's
of
fair.
pink goo.
Yeah.
So, they're like, you said you want money. I have a blank check for you. Just come be my guide on this fucking island bullshit. And Grant's like, I mean, I do need money.
But
So
no.
we're in a plane.
Well, no. Grant says no, and then Billy's like, "Come on, baby. You said you buy me some diamonds."
And Kirby makes it seem like he's some hot shot, like big guy with big connections and all this.
From
Yeah.
Enid, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and fucking Dr. Grant is essentially shanghaied on this movie. Like,
Oh, exactly, yeah, for sure.
So I think what would have made this movie. Now I'm jumping to the end a little bit. Just hear me out. What would make this movie so much better is if it wasn't really about them trying to find the kid and stuff. It was Dr. Grant going savage and murdering everyone when he finds out that he got fucking lied.
And we almost get that too. We almost do.
Oh, if he just like lost his mind,
Dude, if he became like Tarzan was for the gorillas, but with for raptors,
Oh yeah,
that'd be amazing.
that'd be sweet.
Although I guess
like,
it's
literally, I wanted everyone to die the minute and he gets hijacked in the next scene. At that point, I wanted everyone dead.
But
Yeah.
we do get this little cutaway scene of these, I guess, mercenaries, and they're showing how cool they are, how cool their gear is and stuff, because they're blowing up planes with this big giant gun that we talked about briefly, and I'm sure we'll talk about again. But they're also on this plane, hired by the Kirbys.
they know him
somehow.
from his church.
Right.
Yeah, that was a great line. And so Grant just thinks that they're like these eccentric rich people who want a tour guide to like point out random dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah.
and this is how you get Blackbeard on your ship.
So they're on the island.
Well,
but it's...
Well, so on the way there, Dr. Grant's like, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna Indiana Jones this shit and put my fedora down over my face. You wake me up when the red line stops doing its thing. But no. Instead, he gets woken up by. They would want to field this one.
The dumbest thing, the dumbest thing ever put on film.
One of the dumbest. Yes.
He wakes up to a raptor puppet next to his head that
Not a
just
good one.
says his name. And I understand. They were talking, and the whole kind of through line of the movie is about how the raptors communicated, how they had their own language. But you would think that, seeing as how we heard the raptors calling to each other in Jurassic Park,
right?
And that noise that they made haunts him to this day, and haunts Ellie Sattler to this day. You would think that he would wake up in a cold sweat thinking about those raptors making that noise, and not this dumbass raptor puppet saying his name.
You would think, I mean, if you're gonna do some shitty, cheap jump scare, it should have been that Muldoon had when the raptor jumps out of the leaves at him. It should have been that.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were going to say what Nedry got, and it'll just be the thing there spitting acid in his face.
Close enough.
That would, even though he never encountered a Dilophosaurus, that would have been more preferable.
He saw the government report about what happened to Nedry, and it haunts him. It haunts his dreams.
He got gooed in the face
and destroyed.
But not only that, and maybe I'm alone in this, but from this point on, I can't take any of the raptors seriously.
No, because you're waiting for them to talk. Like the whole movie, you're just waiting for them to start talking.
Also, did you like how they updated it to fit science better?
Oh, they gave it little Robbie from Dinosaurs hair spikes.
Yeah. Supposedly those are feathers.
They're quills, which so raptors were probably fully feathered. And
way smaller.
And way smaller. But it makes sense that if these raptors are aberrations of science, that they could be non-feathered giants. It does make sense, the explanation they give in Jurassic World. They were designed to be theme park attractions more so than actual, like, scientifically accurate creatures. But yeah, it is bizarre. I guess maybe having the fully feathered would have kind of deducted from their scariness, maybe. But
Well, one thing is just all right, I mean, it's cool that you tried. It's really half-assed, but
yeah,
it's
because
also,
there was only
at this point, you don't need to do that. I mean, you've already established what they look like. Just fucking go with it.
I don't even think all of them had the quills, right? It was just like the alpha that had it.
Yeah, it was just one or two.
Yeah, I think there was more than one, but yeah, it's the alpha that had the prominent little mohawk.
So it was just like the alpha gremlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, all right, so next in this movie.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the movie in a roundabout way. So they're flying over this island.
30 minutes before we got 5 minutes into the movie.
They're flying over this island.
There's a lot of
Brian.
bullshit to go over in the first act of this film.
Yeah, the Kirby's start acting suspicious. They keep saying, "Oh, do you see anything? Do you see anything?" When obviously there's dinosaurs everywhere, and Grant's just like, hey, if you just open your damn eyes, you dumb idiots, you'll see a dinosaur, and you'll shit your pants. There's dinosaurs here."
Yeah, I see a screensaver down there.
Yeah, and they're yes, I see some very poorly rendered dinosaurs, and that's another problem. This is Jurassic Park 3. Could we not get more than 3 kinds of dinosaurs in this movie?
Oh, they answer that for you, Rob. We get the Spinosaurus.
No, I get that.
To rain on
But
your
you
parade.
still like they have many dinosaurs in them, but they have like 5 or 6 dinosaurs total in this movie. But they're all so background and blasé. It's like, could you not have a couple interesting ones at front and center? Like they have a Ceratosaurus later on in the film for 2 seconds. They have Anyway, I'm getting on a soapbox, but so they're flying the plane, and they're like, "Let's land." Why the hell
Dr.
not?
Grant's like, fuck you.
Yeah. And he gets clocked in the back of the dome.
This is where I'm like, murder everyone.
Yep.
Yep.
Kill them all. Let Tyrannosaurus sort them out.
And he wakes up and everyone's doing something stupid.
Yeah. Most
off-
stupid.
Yep. Fucking Billy
Taylor
for not
is
stopping
stupid.
any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got Taglioni is just yelling this kid's name into a megaphone. You got the soldier guys are just running around doing whatever. And fucking, yeah, Billy didn't, Billy's just standing in the plane like, I don't know what to do without Dr. Grant. And yeah, this shit goes south real fast. Like
Immediately.
Why even bother showing preparations fast?
So they attract the attention of one Spinosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's running back to the plane. It's chaos, whatever. And they all get back on the plane except for the one dude with the gun, who apparently fired a bunch of shots and didn't hit anything.
Nothing.
Even though, as far as I can tell, this gun had like explosive rounds.
Oh yeah, 20 millimeter high explosive, and it sounded like just rifle shots.
Yeah. So they must have left those at home. They didn't check those in their baggage. This plane is taken off, and we finally get to see the Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus, I think, looks cool. It looks like a Spinosaurus is supposed to look. But that's about where the similarities between that and the real animal end.
Well, you see a really quick flash of just a dino run across the runway and get hit by the plane.
Yeah, which would have just killed the Spinosaurus pretty much right then and there.
Yeah.
Because Spinosaurus has a giant sail on its back. That is a huge. That's a huge problem. So if that sail gets that sail is fused to its spinal column. So if that sail gets damaged, also that sail is full of blood vessels. So if that sail gets damaged, the Spinosaurus will just bleed out. Like, it won't be able to move. Its back will be broken. It'll bleed out.
Isn't it something just to regulate its temperature, right? Like all the blood.
It could be
cools down.
Probably partially to regulate temperature, probably partially to for mating purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Either way.
Well, didn't they also say? I mean, not in this movie, but that it's they believe now that it was more of an aquatic animal, and that was
Yeah,
actually...
it's an aquatic animal. That's why its head looks like a crocodile, because it was essentially a crocodile. It would spend most of its time in the water, which is probably why it had this. The sail would stick up out of the water and regulate its temperature while it was in the water. And it would eat fish and probably smaller animals, but
so
it
wasn't a bloodthirsty killing machine.
Right. So even a cheetah, cheetahs are super cool predators, but they're not going to go after other big predators. They don't vie for dominance in areas, because if their legs get hurt, they can't hunt, and that's it. They're done. Their legs are a liability, just like the sail. So Spinosaurus is immediately dumb. Everything about it.
That was just a choice on their part to have something like, oh, we're gonna, fuck the T-Rex. We're gonna do something that looks cool.
Well, yeah, because it is a predator. Yeah, it is a predator and is larger than a tyrannosaur. So they're like, well, obviously, in the same vein that a lot of people are like, oh, raptors had feathers, therefore all dinosaurs had feathers. Kind of the same. This is a big predator. It must be the biggest, coolest predator. Kill everything else.
Wrong.
But yeah, without actually looking into it at all. And so they run away from the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, the plane crashes, the Spinosaurus tears the plane apart, and eats the other one of the two expendable dudes.
It's like this moment here. I kind of checked out a bit before, but the puppet they used for this scene, when they pull him out, they pull back out of the plane, it's so atrocious. I mean, it's the worst puppet I've seen in one of these movies yet.
Wow, and I didn't think it was that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this puppet was disgusting. I was so mad at this fucking puppet, and I was like, if the rest of the movie is this, I'm done.
Well, we all know how Brian feels about puppets in general, so it's very anti-puppet. This guy.
Well, and at least the puppet they use for the raptors, those look like they put more thought into. I guess because they had from the first movie, they had something to work off of. But man,
yeah. The Spino puppet didn't bother me. The next puppet we see bothered me a lot.
Was that the T-Rex by the car?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
The T-Rex with the big goofy eyes. It looked like it was slapped together in the last 5 minutes before they started shooting.
It probably was.
They
probably had a test in the movie with no T-Rex, and they were like, we should probably put T-Rex in there somewhere.
Yeah, because they wanted to show, the Spinosaurus is the new cool dinosaur on the block.
Yeah, it'll break its neck.
Yeah, break its neck like Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you're going to love this guy, and if not, he's going to kill the one you love.
That's right.
So this scene just hurts you, because you're like, all right, they run, they beat the T-Rex. Grant's like, okay, nobody move. They all move. So you're like, fuck, I hate all these characters.
Yep.
Then the T-Rex chases after him. And then the T-Rex meets the Spinosaurus and they have a little battle.
God, yeah.
And yeah, the Spinosaurus breaks the T-Rex's neck.
Now,
like Schwarzenegger.
And here's the thing. So this fight, let me break this fight down. The T-Rex starts off, the first thing it does is it bites down on the Spinosaurus's neck.
That blow.
That would have killed the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, that probably would have killed him right there.
Because the Tyrannosaurus had enough bite force to crush a car without
or delivered a significant enough of a wound that the Spinosaurus would have died from it.
Later. Right. Would have crushed its windpipe, would have torn a 400-pound chunk of flesh out of the Spinosaurus's neck. Something. But there is a reason that the T-Rex is all head. Has the highest bite force of any animal recorded ever, and it's just so insulting. And then it and the humans are dancing around and getting between logs, and it just makes you want to die.
And I forgot to mention after they landed, dude's wife keeps screaming with a bullhorn, and everyone is like, "Shut the fuck up!" And she keeps doing it. And for the rest of the movie, I hate her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. She's in a negative from then on out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was kind of mentioned before, but she's like, why should I stop? I don't understand. And like, what's going to happen? Like, you're going to attract things, which is what you're trying to do. So that's an outcome, but you're going to attract all the things. And this island is dangerous. And fucking Billy certainly should know this island is dangerous. Why is no one doing something?
And now that this plane has crashed, she immediately starts screaming again.
Yep.
All right. So at the point where the Spinosaurus broke the T-Rex's neck, I've written in my notes, everything I wanted to see in this movie has been taken from me. I no longer care. And that's it. I want to see a dinosaur get shot by the gun. I want to see a T-Rex do something that didn't suck. And I didn't want to see a raptor talk to Alan Grant in a nightmare.
You
And
wrote
I'm
that
done.
down specifically?
Yeah, and then there are no characters besides Alan Grant that I like, and I'm just fucking done. Like, this would be a hard hole to dig yourself out of if you were doing cool things, and they're not.
The only other character I could even consider liking is Evening Shade. I don't even remember his name. But
Like, or Koski or something, or
yeah,
the mercenary
sure.
dude.
Yeah,
Or
who's
Densky.
not even a mercenary dude.
Udesky or something like that.
Oh,
Or
Udesky, yeah.
Yeah.
He's okay, I guess, but
Michael
just-
Jester, I think.
Michael Jeter, I think. So just because he's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on either. I'm just here, like whatever.
He
So,
plays
yeah,
the Cajun guy in the Green Mile with the mouse.
I'll say one minor cool thing. Grant immediately punches out Mr. Kirby, as she
Yep.
should.
Yes, as you should.
Yeah.
And then, like, basically everyone's like, okay, so remember how I kind of played it like I was sort of a cool character? I'm not.
Nope.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'm annoying and irredeemable.
Yep.
I have
all
a
of
I have
those
a
are.
paint and tile company
Yep.
in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I kidnapped you, and I kidnapped a bunch of mercenaries, and I don't understand what Michael Jeter's even doing here. He's like, I'm a travel agent.
He's the broker kind of. He's
He's
the
the guy
guy
that knows
that
the mercenaries.
yeah. He's like he gets the mercenaries on the team, and I guess he said someone called out sick, and so he came, which is like the dumbest.
Is that
thing
what
ever.
I did not catch that line?
I don't
Anytime
think
I've
he
seen
said
this
that.
movie.
Mercenaries get to call out. Like, I don't think you get PTO hours or anything as a mercenary.
Plus
Dude, you son of a
bullshit.
bitch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what? You're going to the dinosaur island? I don't think I feel too well.
So like,
That he didn't even like fucking Kirby didn't even realize that there's two islands and that Dr. Grant had never been on Isla Sorna. You're like, okay,
because
that's good.
he didn't read the book.
Yeah.
Either
You're
of
even
them.
more of a friggin' idiot.
But no, like,
And
hear me out. If at this point Grant he starts saying, "I sold myself out for money. I sold myself out," and like the next 10 minutes is him every now and then just saying, "I sold myself out," and his eyes get darker and darker, and then like instead of the dinosaurs that they're killing them, he starts murdering them just one by one and feeding them to the dinosaurs.
So basically, Event Horizon on Isla Sorna.
Yeah.
And at one point, he just tears his own eyes out and then starts disemboweling them.
No, he has a fucking whistle. He has a fucking
Yeah.
rat
Starts
whistle.
calling raptors over.
If you want to be nicer about it, I would also accept if he did that same thing, but he was like, I'm getting one of you motherfuckers out of here so you can pay me, and just murders all the dinosaurs in his path on the way out.
So none of the Lost World, which is by no means a good movie, had some egregiously stupid shit in it, like the dinosaur veterinarian, whatever, not realizing that having blood of a baby T-Rex on her would get the T-Rex to follow him, or the fucking uneven bar routine with the Velociraptor.
Now, Joe, do you mean after she brags about knowing the T-Rex has the strongest
Yes.
olfactory system?
Yes. But somehow that is still better than what's going on here. Like this just sucks. Like, it's not like that was stupid and was like no writer should ever been allowed to have put that on paper. And no editor should have like seen that and been like, all right, that's a good idea. But this is just like passionless and dumb.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have changed at all if Tay Leone was not dressed in mom hair and mom pants for the whole?
That could have
That
could have been Scarlett Johansson. I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't
like,
give any. I mean,
wouldn't have
they didn't give anything for her to do besides
Yeah.
be annoying.
Yeah, I would have had something better to look at, but that's about it.
I'm not even saying, like-
this is not that kind of movie where like you care like how the actors look. Like it doesn't fucking matter.
But
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying to like make her look sexy. I'm just saying the fact that she looked like that annoying. The fact that she looked like a Karen.
Doesn't matter. Like,
She still acted that annoying, so it would have gotten there either way.
I would say 60% of the characters straight up look like an asshole. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true.
Like Jurassic Park II, I think that if you changed a few scenes or just removed a few parts of the film, could have been serviceable, could have been passable. This is like, there's nothing to work with. It just sucks.
So at this point, they're trying to find. Well, not Hammond. Grant's like, we got to get the fuck out of here because we're gonna fucking die. So your kid's probably fucking dead. It's been 8 fucking weeks. Like, like fucking come on. If your kid's alive, the writers are fucking shitty. The writers are shitty in this movie.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. The writers are fucking shitty. But it's been 8 fucking weeks when your fucking 11-year-old kid. Here's proof of them crashing. We found their parachute and some shit. So there's little hope, I guess.
And their dead body.
Yeah.
Fucking tree.
And your boyfriend has been eaten.
And she has quite a battle with a skeleton in a parachute here.
And that scene went on entirely too long.
It looks like Goofy trying to put up Christmas lights.
It reminded me of that stupid scene from Indiana Jones when Cape Catshaw is running around screaming like an asshole too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
So just before this, though, I forgot the exact line. I only wrote down one word from it, but William H. Macy said something about a tricyclops.
A tricyclops. Don't come crying to me when that tricyclops comes for you.
Come on, dude.
My wife made the comment that was Triceratits' brother.
Like,
oh damn! Now it's canon.
It's like, yeah. You raised a child in the 80s and 90s. You know what a triceratops is. Like, that kid has told you a million times about all of his dinosaurs that he loves.
You know good and well he doesn't listen to his kid.
Yeah.
He's putting in overtime at the tile store.
They're just a couple of bumpkins from Oklahoma. They don't understand.
They don't
That's
understand
really when
tricycloplots.
That's really when I want someone to just lean in and go, read a book.
Yep. And I did write down at this point, why did we kill the soldiers and stay with the Kirby's?
Immediately.
Yep.
They killed them.
They timelined those fuckers. They were red shirts.
In
not only did we kill
2,
him,
the same thing happened, right? In 2, all the badass people killed.
Well, mostly
Pretty much
killed them.
no,
True.
Because Pete possibly
a lot of them
made
survived.
it to almost the end. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of those soldiers were left at the end.
Okay.
RJ died or whatever,
yeah.
but and so nobody can pick up the gun. Apparently, that's just gone.
It's gone.
It's just gone.
That was gone when they first landed. He dropped that in the woods.
Yeah, because when he ran out onto the runway, he didn't have anything on him.
Yeah, he just had a bloody arm.
And he was crying like a little bitch.
Sure it was.
So, all right. So they take the parasail parachute. They're like, this could be useful later. And you're like, God damn it. There's no way that's going to be useful in any cool way. That is only going to be used to perpetrate bullshit.
So many bad foreshadowing things.
What year did this movie come out?
2001.
Oh yeah, somebody's sky surfing. You know it.
Yeah.
Triple X.
Oh God.
And then when Amanda goes running off because she freaks out from the skeleton, she goes and just finds raptor eggs just everywhere. Not even
just
unguarded.
One nest.
Just a million raptor eggs just hanging out.
I just want to point out that the skeleton they found was her fucking boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So she runs out fucking worried as fuck, right? And she goes, and her husband's like, I'm sorry about your boyfriend. She's like, fuck him. I'm worried about my kid. I'm like, how trash are you?
Well, I mean,
real trash.
I don't know. That seems like a mother response.
Yeah, and if the boyfriend took the kid there and that was the boyfriend's idea, then fuck him.
Yeah, true.
So when we were watching this, I was like, that guy looks so familiar. Have y'all seen the movie Election with Reese Witherspoon?
Mm-hmm.
It was a while ago, but yeah.
He plays the guy that has sex with Reese Witherspoon and ruins his life. Like Matthew Broderick's best friend.
Yeah.
That's one other thing I remembered him from. He looks like a stepdad.
The boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I also know Billy is Castor Troy's brother from Face Off.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Jeez. He's also a low rent version of Ray Park.
Is Face Off on our list?
Probably.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Okay, so now Billy like suddenly lags behind, and Dr. Grant's like, don't fall behind. And you're like, what was Billy doing back there? Like,
Yeah, I
you
have
know
no
he
idea.
fucking took the eggs. Like, you
And
know he did.
Well, mostly I was like, why are there no raptors guarding these nests?
Yeah.
0. Not a 1.
That's a real good question.
They're all snapping necks.
They're
Okay.
they're so smart, Rob. They would have been the dominant species.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They are smart enough to know to leave their kids behind.
Yeah. Oh, and to chase down 2 eggs with the entirety of their fucking pack instead of, guarding the nest to keep that from happening again. So anyway,
Sounds
so now we come across an abandoned base. And this is a cool set. And then as I'm walking towards it, I remembered, I'm like, shit, this is the one where she fucking uneven barred the raptor. out the
Yeah,
window.
it sure is. They even
I'm
show
like, God damn
the
it.
they even show the car with the busted out window where
Yep.
Malcolm was hiding. They don't show a raptor skeleton on the
Yeah.
a pole though, which would have
They were
been
at least nice enough to do that.
it would have been the piece de resistance.
All right.
So in the year since then, the Raptors were like, we need to get better fighting skills. That's when
They
they sent out the
started
call for
Green
Steven
Beret
Seagal.
camp.
When they
Yeah.
called Steven Seagal.
Teach us how to
So-
snap neck, Steven.
This movie, as they're walking in, just like a really out of focus raptor shoots across the background,
Yeah.
but like real flagrant. So they're like, oh, there's a raptor.
Yep.
And now we take a fat chat break to fucking Paul Kirby's like, has anyone got change? I want to buy
All right.
some peanuts. Or
I need to
whatever."
talk about this real quick.
Yes.
Yep.
So he's trying to get. I understand that they're trying to set up the joke. Okay, they're trying to set up the joke.
Mm.
Hey, does anybody have change? And then Billy,
Mm.
because he's such a badass. Oh, it gets me hot just thinking about him.
Oh, yeah.
He just kicks in this thing. It kind of takes the wind out of the joke when there's obviously no power to this machine. So it's like Kirby's just gonna stand there and put quarters into this machine with no power to it.
He's an idiot.
They should have let him do it.
They should have just
Yeah.
put all of his money in.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't this machine working?
Yeah, so they're in the spoopy lab.
Yep. Oh, but also, Mr. Kirby cannot defeat a vending machine in single combat.
Correct.
Billy probably couldn't either because that's fucking like plexiglass shit. That's not normal glass.
Yeah, but see, when you're a Fat Chat Master like we are, it's pretty much like the bonus round of freaking
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, yeah.
Yeah. I will squat next to it and electrocute that fucking machine.
Oh,
until
I will.
snacks fall out.
I will Honda that thing.
Give it the 100-hand slap. All right. So Tony, which Street Fighter character's moveset would you use on the vending machine? You go to Zangief it?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Just do what was that? The spinning pile driver move?
Yep. All right. And Brian?
It'd be Chun-Li.
Okay. You do
Kick
like.
it.
What about you, Will?
I don't know what Street Fighter is. I'm too young.
I'll be like Scorpion and be like, get over here.
Okay, Will doesn't know what Street Fighter is.
Fucking asshole.
Oh man.
Fatality.
Finish it. Finish the Reese's Pieces.
Thank you, Will.
All right. So.
All right. So we get this raptor who apparently is just stoned out of his mind or something because he's just staring.
It's
I
like,
think he's trying to be scary.
Yeah, he's
like,
Seagal
looks
in it.
Like, they give you the impression that there's a raptor in a glass tank that's just like dead and floating in this liquid. Wrong. It's a fucking live raptor that's behind the fucking glass. It just had its face pressed against it with one eye open for like 30 minutes.
Yep.
It's entitled to do that because it's an animal. Taya Leone, however, should have realized that's a fucking raptor. Like, clearly not in the tank.
Hey, why are there 12 feet of animal behind this tank that this raptor head is in?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But at this point, I'll be honest. At this point, I shifted my perspective, and I was like, "Raptors, fucking murder them." And like, I was coming around to the movie. I was like, all right, they're gonna get chased. They're gonna eat one of them. All right, cool. Get them, dinosaurs. Get them.
But the only one they eat is the one that's the least offensive.
Oh,
yep.
God.
All right, I will give props. I liked the thing with the door where the raptors like pushing the door in on who was that, Billy and Amanda?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I can climb up and over. And so the moment it leaves the ground and puts its feet on the door, they just push that shit against the wall and lock it there. Again, you know, if you're going to go on a neck-breaking spree, it would have been nice if they shoved its neck in the doorway and just kept slamming the door on it a few times.
Oh, God.
But no,
The PETA people would be great.
What was that, Brian?
It has to call for help, so they can't kill it.
It does. And what was even happening? Okay, so now they get chased out of this complex, into just all the dinosaurs, just all of them. Big ass stampede. Yeah. Billy drops his lucky bag, but Dr. Grant picks it up.
This is actually a scene from Lost World, the book, that they used for this.
I was wondering because, like, the pterodactyl thing that was in Lost World. I mean, the book too, right?
Yep.
I think
there was a whole scene of flying shit that didn't make it into the movies. That were in the book.
Or was that the first book or the second book?
I think the first book has the scene with the pterodactyl dome.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think Grant and the two kids have to go through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the egg thing is from the second book, and it's just it's a whole fucking.
There's no parasailing.
No.
I'm pretty sure Michael Crichton wrote that in one of the books. There's no parasailing.
Yeah. I think it was the last line of the first book.
Yeah.
And there was no parasailing.
And there never should be.
So, the raptors are like, all right, let's just go hide behind something, and we'll leave Odesky out there. We'll just wound him.
God,
and then
that was brutal.
Those idiots are going to climb down from the tree when they see he needs help, and we'll jump him. Billy's like, I'm not playing that shit. Amanda's like, I am playing that shit.
I would have liked a nod to the first movie if Grant was like, clever girl.
Yeah.
So what did they do to Udesky? They just didn't kill him all the way. So
one of them stuck their claw into like his spine and paralyzed him or something. Like they severed his spinal cord or something.
I thought they were just going to show a raptor off screen with a string attached to his arm that they were like jiggling him.
So Weekend at Bernie style.
Yeah. Dr. Grant gets separated from the rest of them. And then when the raptors see that, okay, they're not going to come down from the tree, they just go over and fucking Arnold style just break Odesky's neck.
And then they look over at the humans like, what?
They don't do anything for you.
See, at this point, I'm like, cool, they're hunting them. They're hunting the people. All right. I'm in.
Yeah, but they don't even like. It would have been cool if they if it like put his teeth around its head and just like rah, 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 that kind of a thing.
Listen, Rob, it only lasts for 20 seconds. Then I'm fully out in 20 seconds.
Yeah. Oh,
that's how Rob is anyway.
So fucking all the raptors go running off. Well played, Will. All the raptors go running off.
Never
and they chase down Dr. Grant, and fucking Eric, the little kid here, runs in with his throws some smoke grenades.
One of the three ninjas.
Yeah, the raptors are just like, what the fuck is this? I'm out of here.
This is where I'm fully out. This was the last straw for the rest of the movie. I'm done.
Let me tell you how low the movie gets here.
Oh, beans and piss Eric here?
Yeah, so Dr. Grant is sitting with this fucking kid Eric.
Oh, is it because they're eating a Nestle Crunch, Joe? Is that the
jar
problem?
of T-Rex piss and eating Nestle Crunch bars. That's how low we've gotten.
Sounds like a Saturday night to me.
Yeah.
Like,
And they make a point of Grant keeping coughing because he was so affected by those smoke grenades.
Yeah.
you know, the minute a smoke grenade hit the ground, I went, this fucking kid threw a smoke grenade, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Like, this
I mean-
kid made it 8 weeks on the island and found a smoke grenade, I'm fucking done.
He's
I'll
out there
give it,
milking
like-
dinosaurs.
The Raptors, they don't know what's going on. This big ass cloud of smoke. They weren't expecting that. They're like, fuck it. We'll leave and come back later. I'll give it that. I'm okay with that. But just like, no, there's no way. The kid's dead. He's not surviving for 8
He's
months.
fucking dead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I love
Or 8
the kids in
weeks.
the first movie. The kids in the first movie, they're crying, they're shitting their pants, they're having a whole thing. They need to be saved. Kids in the second movie, we're kicking raptors out a window. Kids in the third movie survived 8 weeks on his own on this island when his parents and a bunch of marauders couldn't survive 5 seconds. Like,
Yep.
what the fuck?
The only way this is plausible is if the glider dropped him directly into that like fallout shelter.
Yeah.
Just he glided down into it.
And like,
Maybe
the
if
worst
the
part
kid.
about it,
Go ahead.
the worst part about it is the kid would have died, not from dinosaurs, he would have died from fucking dysentery or some shit like that. The first time he
Yeah.
tried to drink some fucking water.
Or-
He'd have shit and pissed himself to death on his fucking
Or
house.
perhaps when a giant T-Rex apparently pissed on him.
You get piss hypothermia.
I genuinely have no there's no gross punchline to this. When they're like, how did you get this T-Rex piss? And the kid's like, you don't want to know. I'm like, no, I do want to know. Because I can't imagine the
milking 'em.
scenario where you got that.
Well, he's seen Luke Skywalker get that milk in that.
I mean, did he just know that the T-Rex can't see you if you don't move? So he just stood there and held the jar up?
He
You know,
just
and,
he
like,
disguised himself as a toilet.
Just hoped that the T-Rex pissed there? Like,
And
Again,
that is the
sounds
other
like
thing.
a Saturday night to me.
But that is the other thing. Like, using that statement like that, my first thought is, what? Did you jerk him off? Like that?
Yeah.
You don't get pissed from that. Like, what?
He
Oh, you
just
don't?
thinks it's T-Rex. It's actually just R.
Yeah.
Kelly in one of those inflatable dinosaur costumes.
Joe, you're all right though. Like the only time in this movie where you wanted to know something was that.
yeah.
Like,
No.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. All right. So the kid lives in a sunken fuel truck or water truck or something. I'm like, all right, he's got a cool little hideout, whatever. I'll say this. Even though they're eating Nestle Crunch bars, at least they're not eating fucking crackles. Like in Jurassic Park 2. All right. So at this point, I'm so out of the movie that I don't even know why. An ankylosaurus walked by someone, and I was just legitimately excited because it was an ankylosaurus. So I just wrote down ankylosaurus ! Because I was just looking for something at this point.
Which one's
Yeah.
that?
I don't even know. I was
That's the
just
one with
happy that an ankylosaurus was there.
It's kind of looks almost like a turtle with a big club tail.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those
Okay,
are
I
cool.
thought you was talking about the scene.
Well, at first they're like, "Oh shit, compies," and you think something cool's going to happen with those. Nope.
No.
Just close the door to the truck.
Yeah, they'll come in and steal all your piss.
Well, I think that's because
They'll piss on you.
in Lost World, compies ate that kid.
Yeah,
And in this one, the kid's like, nope.
wait, they ate Peter Stormare.
Yeah.
Oh, they also ate the little girl in the beginning.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
They just nibbled on her.
Or well,
So-
She just
If you
doesn't have a
believe.
nose.
yeah,
Yeah.
you believe what they told you. She looks
So
like
now-
the dude from Hannibal. All right.
Gary Oldman.
So,
Yeah.
all right, everyone reunites. The family's back. They have Eric. Hooray. And they're both on two different sides of an old park fence. And then they hear the satellite phone that you saw in the beginning of the movie. And the mercenary that was piloting the plane that got eaten, he had the smartphone on him. So they're like, if I'm hearing the smartphone, that must mean that he's inside the Spinosaurus. How the fuck can you hear?
That is a loud ass
Smartphone.
ringtone.
The
That is
loudest
a loud
phone.
ass.
Loud.
Fake
Loud.
Nokia ringtone.
Not just that. Let's keep in mind they somehow hear this ringtone in the belly of this animal through this animal, but they
But
somehow
not the animal.
did not hear this thing sneak up on them.
Nope.
I mean, it's only
this monster that from the first Jurassic Park we're told it's bigger than the T-Rex, and in the first Jurassic Park we're told like before it even gets there you can feel the quake of every one of its steps.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess probably 12 to 14 tons would be my guess.
I don't even know. Heavy.
Look-
There's a lot of biological material that sound has to penetrate through.
But apparently Stallone or Seagal taught him stealth as well.
Yep. All right. So this scene is kind of cool where they run through a gap in the fence and Spinosaurus is just like, fuck your fence, and just smashes it through it. But then they just go into this like rickety looking ramshackle building and Spinosaurus is like, oh no, I can't get through this door.
Yeah, I can't get through doors, man.
Yeah.
I can't get in until I'm invited.
Yeah. I ain't like Indominus Rex, but at least that motherfucker was like, all right, I can't get through the door. I'll smash through the goddamn wall. So now what happens?
Billy sucks.
Yeah. They get to the big ass observatory. Yeah. And Billy's like, yo, give me the bag. No, seriously, give me the bag, but don't look at it. And Dr. Grant's like, fuck you. I'm going to look at it.
It's my porn stash, dude.
Yeah. And Billy has 2 raptor eggs.
Billy,
God damn it.
you got all them people killed? You could have just left those eggs.
Just Udesky, really.
Well, yeah.
Got them in peril.
In my heart.
Yeah.
All those killed.
Dr. Grant is very disappointed in him.
So disappointed.
He says, you're no better than InGen.
Yeah, he's pretty much like, fuck you, we're not hanging out after this.
Yeah, he calls him a Nazi, basically.
And then,
but also like he's so mad at him because he made this decision because of money, and it's like, isn't that why you're here?
Yeah, but he didn't steal any raptor eggs, though.
He didn't know they were going to land.
That is true.
Yeah, but, you know, according to Dr. Grant, Billy is pretty much just a fascist now. So, they're like, oh, look at that ominous fog bank. Let's go in there. We got to get that boat. Now, I'll admit, the plans sound in that, like, get near the river and follow the river. It will lead to the coast. Good plan.
Right.
Chances are those giant predators, you know, aren't going to be down in the river, one would think. But we get this, like, the scene where they all have to cross a bridge one at a time, and Dr. Grant's noticing the situation gets sketchier and sketchier. And then finally he puts his hand on a dried turd, and he's like, we can't stay here. And then fucking Eric gets swoop grasped by a fucking pterodactyl as he's crossing a bridge.
Eric was like, I'm going to get me some of them turds.
Yeah.
Add them to my piss collection.
Put it in a jar.
And then
I could feed
Billy
off of that
looks
for
at
a
Dr.
week.
Grant. Dr. Grant's like, don't do it. This movie sucks enough already. And Billy's like, I'm going to do it. Let's
90s
get stupid.
forever.
Like, it's funny because like Billy's face after he got like reprimanded by Grant, his face was like, I gotta do something to like redeem myself and not look so dumb anymore. Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump off some shit with my parachute. Oh yeah,
Now's my time to shine.
now's my chance.
So not only did you not shoot a dinosaur with the cool gun, but now I have to look at this guy's dumbass parasailing along, rescuing Eric, and just parachuting down the river, being chased by pterodactyls.
Like, but
I'm
like,
mad.
What I don't get is like, okay, now you're in the air with things that fly and hunt.
Yep.
What are you gonna do now?
Exactly what he does do.
Yeah.
It dies.
Presumably dies, yeah.
And gets a fairly violent looking death. And
Yeah, that was brutal.
yeah, I was okay. Like, I mean, I'm like, oh, that sucks for you, Billy. But like the death was cool.
That's
Like,
a slow.
he
That's a
does
slow,
save Eric.
painful death.
Yeah.
You deserved it, and I'm happy to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I kind of call a little bit of bullshit because Eric somehow ended up in a nest of these pterodactyls, and they're like fucking turkey-sized birds, right? I'm like, this motherfucker can kick them out the nest. They can't fly. Kick them the fuck out.
Oh,
I know,
I
that's what I
kicked
wanted
the
him to
shit
do.
out of those birds.
Yeah, just kick him over the edge.
Yeah.
What did we what did we all think about the big pterodactyl that comes down and like lands on the bridge or whatever?
In the fog, it was kind of cool.
Catwalk.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like the scene where it comes kind of, you see its outline coming toward Eric.
Yeah.
That part was actually kind of cool.
I thought the reveal was kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then after that,
Sure.
not so much.
Sure, just slammed into the cage because it's flying in a fucking fog bank. So
It
anyway,
wasn't fog though. That was the ammonia from all the piss
All the
and crap
piss.
everywhere.
all right.
God.
So they get to the boat. They get the boat started up. And you get this one like little sunny, happy moment where they go down a river and they reflect on Billy, and then they look at some dinosaurs, and it's supposed to be
Terrible.
majestic.
It's like the worst CGI in the whole movie.
Yeah, but the CGI is just not good. Not good.
It's like
And,
walking
like,
with dinosaurs level.
It's also almost the same like scene as in the first one where with the Welcome to Jurassic Park, except they're like put 3 of those in there, make them look shittier and have less dramatic impact.
I mean, they could have reused the fucking that scene from the first one. I would have liked it.
You know, have a Stegosaurus do something cool. I don't know, anything else.
It could have been a fucking dead Triceratops just laying there. I'd have been happier.
That's a tricycle plop.
Well, here's what I think. Here's what I think they did wrong in this scene, and it's so in the first Jurassic Park when you first see the Brachiosaurs, it's from like you're looking at the ground up, and you get a sense of scale of how big these things are. This is just like you're on the boat, you see the Brachiosaur, it's just there in the middle of the screen, and you just see this cartoon come down and like smile at you, and you're just like, what is that? So I feel like if they had given us a sense of scale to kind of get a sense of wonder out of it.
And in Jurassic Park 1, like the actors sell it like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say another problem to all that is in Jurassic Park, in the first one, you know, like, ooh and ah, the animals are real and all this other stuff. This one, they try and do that same thing, but one, we're more up close and personal, and the CGI is not good enough to accomplish that. It looks bad. And 2, after everything that's happened, you can't just ooh and ah these things. I would have been like, fuck you, Brontosaurus, and punched in the face. Like, I don't care about any of you right now.
Yeah. So then we
Will,
cut
you all right?
to
Yeah.
All right. You're zoning out.
Yeah. Sorry.
we cut to what I think is an appropriate metaphor for this movie. It is 3 steaming turds on the side of a riverbank.
And the cell phone going off.
Yep, they hear the cell phone going off, and it's not even like, you know how in like Saw, there's the moment before they start doing the crazy thing where they're like, they think about it and they're like, oh, I don't really want to do it. They're just like, no, get right into shit, just dive in there. And this is probably my favorite point in the movie, though, just because that one dinosaur that walks by after they get the phone, and someone's holding a poo-covered phone up to their face, and this dinosaur, was that an Allosaurus or?
It was a
something like that, right?
Ceratosaurus. It was a Ceratosaurus, yeah.
Yeah, this dinosaur looks at them like, ew. It just walks away.
It's like, I was thinking about maybe eating you, but no.
Yeah.
You smell like shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, clearly, I don't want anything to do with you. So, now granted, I mean, if I were there in the wild, I probably would have just covered myself in that poop and just hope that, like, nothing's going to want to touch me.
This is where Grant, he has camoed himself in the in the shit to pick off the last few people.
Yeah.
Like Predator.
Yeah, there should be a point where he gets cornered by a raptor, but he's covered in Spinosaurus poop, and he's like, come on, you want to touch me? And the raptor's like, you know what? I don't. It just leaves.
He calls the Spinosaurus an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah. Not just coated in it. He's got it strategically placed like war paint.
Mm-hmm.
I like this idea.
All right. So now Dr. Grant tries to place a phone call here as they're going down the river. And he calls up Dr. Sattler's little boy, Baby Blondor. I don't know his name. And yeah, we get the Barney joke where Barney distracts him.
And everybody dies. The end.
Yep. And Spinosaurus, of course, has to attack the boat, Jaws style.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Dr. Sadler. I forget how this scene goes, but the kid's basically just like, it's the dinosaur man. And Dr. Sadler is somehow able to deduce that there's trouble on Isla Sorna from Dr. Grant not really saying
it's like she star
much.
69's it or something.
Well, I think since it's a satellite phone, they could probably track the location.
That makes sense.
And once you hear the screaming on the phone, and you say, "Oh, it's coming from Isla Sorna."
So, Paul Kirby here actually does something useful, where he's actually, it's established earlier that he's gotten good at swimming, and he swims away from the Spinosaurus, gets up on a crane, and distracts it. The Spinosaurus just bites like the fuel tank of the boat. So now there's fuel all in the water, and Dr. Grant gets a flare gun and shoots the flare at the water, lights it on fire, and Spinosaurus is just like, well, fuck. All right, I'm going to go.
This is hot.
Again, I know it's PG-13 and all that, but like, can we have lit the dinosaur on fire? Something?
Yeah, it's not even a real dinosaur. Just,
exactly.
Some fire on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. It could be Mars Attacks fire. It doesn't have to be good. I don't care. Just light the damn thing on fire. But no, so it fucks off, and they're like, all right, goodbye, main bad guy, I guess. And everyone's like, oh, Paul's dead. And Paul just swims back up. He's like, no, I'm not. You're like, all right, I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm like, great. More of this.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get some raptor politics.
Oh, God.
They're heading toward what they think is the coast. Or they're heading towards the coast, I guess.
Yeah.
Where suddenly they're intercepted by all the raptors ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a big, like, freaking tribunal.
It seems like the whole pack has abandoned the rest of their nests to chase down these two eggs.
The raptors court-martial these guys.
Yeah. So you're like, uh-oh. And there's no T-Rex to swoop in and eat them.
That's right.
Because that got killed earlier.
What are they going to do?
Oh, I'll tell you what they're going to do.
Use Grant's magical kazoo.
I was just going to say, I was going to call it a raptor kazoo.
The ocarina of crap.
Yeah, fucking pulls out from Billy's bag the raptor eggs and the raptor kazoo. And he's making noises into that thing. And Paul Kirby is like, no, call for help.
Like, what are you talking about, Paul? You have no idea what
does that mean? What I would have liked, because, I don't care about the artistic quality of this movie any further. They should have just subtitled the screen of what he was saying to the raptors.
Yes, that would have been great.
That was funny.
Yeah,
It'll say, "Save me, Daddy."
No, it would have been like Mother Big Cheese going up tree line. Like you don't know how to speak raptor.
Or
Just
been
because
like,
you can breathe through one of their vocal cords doesn't mean you sound just like them and say everything properly.
Yeah, and then you can see the rest of them just be like, "What the fuck? What's he saying?" Like,
Yeah.
That's
kind of how they've reacted too. They were like,
"This guy's lost his goddamn mind."
So finally, they're like, "You know what? I gotta go," and they just leave. And you hear a helicopter in the background.
Which is why I think they actually left, because they heard the helicopter coming.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, every time we hear this, we get carpet bombed." So.
Oh, but they did retrieve the two eggs.
Yeah.
So who cares?
There you go.
I thought they were going to break all their necks and be like, make it look like an accident.
Again, like, could the kazoo have just bought them enough time so they could get a running start to the beach, and right when they get to the beach, have the army guys shoot some raptors? No, we can't. That'd be too cool. They just get to the beach and the army shows up and nothing happens. And they get on a helicopter. Billy's not dead. Who cares?
Yeah, I read originally Billy was supposed to die, but I guess that didn't test well.
Did anything test well?
Who did they test it with? Billy's family?
I guess.
The actor's agent?
Yeah, I don't know if it was testing or like, Spielberg or whoever decided, but somebody was like, no, Billy can't die. So, but here's the other thing. How did they get that army there?
I'm saying it was like 20 minutes ago they called. Like, what the fuck?
Is
And
it
also,
because her husband worked at the
Yeah.
State Department?
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
oh, is that
Actually,
it?
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
That was just what
I
I
did not make
came
that
up with.
connection.
Pretty much the only reason he was in the movie, but they still could have they could have had her like involved with the State Department, like that was her job
Yeah.
after the events of the
Yeah,
first movie or
definitely.
something, you know?
Yeah.
That would be a good tie-in for her to
Yeah.
come back in the new sequel.
Yep, it would make sense, but
Maybe they get in one of those APCs and run a raptor over. I don't know.
there you
I
go.
just
Or the Raptor starts driving
Yeah.
one.
Yes. All right. So they get in the helicopter, they fly off. The pterodactyls are flying around like the seagulls in the end of the first movie.
Which
and-
were supposed to be pterodactyls in the end of the first
Yeah.
movie, but they hadn't gotten it figured out yet.
Oh,
And this
wow.
is
and
this is another one where I love it because it's, you know, we're playing the music and it's supposed to be all like sweet and whatever. And it's like, no, these are murderous animals that
Yeah.
just escaped this island.
have the
Yes.
door gunner open fire.
They were like,
Oh,
we're
can't
coming
escape.
we're coming to
Yeah.
finish you off, Billy.
Yeah, seriously.
Mommy's still hungry.
Yeah, we have our kid. Let's go home so they can go fly off and kill somebody else's kid.
Yeah, where is this? Costa Rica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some poor Costa Rican families getting terrorized by pterodactyls.
They
Yes.
better not come to Enid, Oklahoma, where we are definitely from.
Yeah, they'll probably just eat a bunch of people from South America. Who cares?
Yeah, bunch of poor people.
And the credits roll. That's it.
Yep.
Big,
Jurassic Park.
big climactic ending.
Alright, that's it for Jurassic Park 3. Boop. So Jurassic Park 3, guys. Tony, what does Rotten Sequels have to say about this movie?
It's a pretty rotten one. So on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a score of 49%. Audience gave this a score of 36%.
Wow.
That's their thoughts and opinions. What about you and yours, Will?
Yeah, this is pretty much a big F failure for me. I put it on the list for our quarantine fun time session, but I thought it was going to be a little more fun than it actually was. I feel like really nothing happened. I mean, I was talking to Rob earlier, and what's his name? Sam Neill is a really good actor and sells some of the ridiculous lines really well, but other than that, it's just a lot of kind of silly bullcrap. Obviously, I would rather recommend the first Jurassic Park, and even I would say Jurassic World above this. Yeah, I'm gonna say a fail.
All right. Brian.
So I've never checked out of a movie. Well, correction. There have only been a few movies that we've done that I've checked out as fast as I checked out this movie. I mean, within 5 minutes, I was almost fully out. When this movie started, and like this is not even remote. There's like no redeeming anything of this movie. The CGI is terrible. Like Will said, Dr. Grant, whatever his name is, he was the best actor in the movie. William H. Macy was pretty much the dude from Boogie Nights. His character from fucking Boogie Nights. how dumb he was, and like you don't even get to see like the dinosaurs' deaths were even like cool. No one got like an awesome no one was killed awesomely by dinosaur. It was just trash. Like everyone's just dumb. You hate everyone. I want them all to die. The kid is stupid. I mean, the kid's really smart, but like having the kid survive for 8 weeks on his own was fucking dumb. So fuck this movie. I'm out.
Okay.
Oh, it's an F. I would not recommend it.
All right, Rob.
Yeah. And again, we've been over this a lot, but I have probably the lowest standards out of anyone here as far as Jurassic movies and dinosaur movies and things like that. And I find this, it's like I'll still watch it, but it'll be the last one I pick every time. I'm still trying to decide whether this or Fallen Kingdom is worse, though. Just a heads up for everybody.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. But I definitely don't recommend it. It's not good at all. It's like they've said already, the action's not good. The dinosaurs are boring, and all of the characters are absolutely obnoxious, and no one is likable except for Grant, and he's completely wasted. So that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Wouldn't really recommend. I don't feel it's quite as bad as like some of you guys have said. I'd maybe put it more at like a D- than an F, because like it being on did not offend me. It's a waste of time more than anything else. But yeah, it's just not a very good movie. So you go watch Jurassic Park because it's great, and don't really worry about this. Joe.
I had a weird thought. So,
Just one.
nah, a bunch. But so this movie, from an objective standpoint, has the least amount of egregiously stupid shit of all 5 Jurassic Park movies I've seen. Like, every other one has at least one thing where I'm like, that is absolutely irredeemably stupid and has checked me out of the movie. To different degrees. Obviously in the first movie, there's a lot of really stupid stuff, but you're like, I don't care. That T-Rex is so freaking cool.
Mhm.
And like Jurassic World, to an extent, like that end fight puts a Band-Aid over a lot of the other stupid stuff in that movie. And this one, I'm like, nothing is egregiously stupid, but absolutely nothing in this movie is worth watching or worth caring about. Like the dinosaurs are blah. The characters are insufferable. I like to see Dr. Grant again, but like not with this. And the movie just fails. Like, I got what I wanted in the sense of I wish these Jurassic Park movies didn't include so much goddamn stupid stuff, but like you got to replace it with something cool. You can't just put nothing in there. And yeah, it really, really lacks the passion of the other movies. And it shows loud and clear. I would, of course, recommend the first Jurassic Park, and I would even watch Jurassic World, which I didn't really like, over this movie. But this one is one I could go the rest of my life without seeing again and not have any regrets.
Okay. Yeah. That's everybody. We don't recommend this movie. We recommend Jurassic Park instead. No big surprise there. Rob.
So that's it. Want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider subscribing. Of course, we would really appreciate it if you could give us a positive review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts from. If you'd like to hear more of our episodes, the entire archive is available at our website, 4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can find us on Twitter or Facebook at 4ampodcast, or you can email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. If you want to help support what we do, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/4ampodcast. We have exclusive episodes there, as well as just some fun random stuff too. So that's about it. Anybody got anything else?
No, that's it.
Stay safe.
Deuces.
Yeah, stay home, guys, unless you absolutely have to go out. Please, for the good of everybody. Bye.
Adios.
Good
Bye,
night, everybody.
Adios.